All right, toy fans. So I'm here with another one of our live builds, actually. So it's late. This thing came in extraordinarily late, and I'm like, you know what? I have been wanting to put this thing together. Like as soon as I started seeing reviews of it, I started seeing like everything that was going on with it. I was like, I've got to get one of these. And so a lot of people have been putting them together kind of early. I had to wait on mine. And tonight, out of all the times, I was like, hopefully it'll be here earlier. Took its time, but it did come in tonight. And I'm like, I can't wait any longer. I should have self control as fruits of the spirit for my Christian life. But you know what? This one I've been very excited about. Matter of fact, I was so excited. I also got some of the minifigs off of AliExpress. Now, I had ordered some Avatar figures from AliExpress. Probably shouldn't be going through AliExpress, but you know what? I at this point, like I'm super excited about some of the stuff that I've gotten. A Back to the Future 2 set of Marty and Doc Brown from there, and some things for like some friends as well. So this has the Marty and Doc Brown from the first film, but it has builds for both the first and the second film in there. Technically, the first film, because you've got three different options. We'll go through that as we build and talk about it. But I figure, you know what? Let's break this down. Let's actually let's get into it and let's build this thing. Let's build this thing. I have been waiting on this. I've already taken this thing. I even already registered it. Again, I was so excited. We do get a sticker sheet in there. Kind of set that up over there. So look, on the back you've got, of course, the time machine from Back to the Future, 357 pieces. Oh, cannot wait. We got a 1-to-1 scale for the tire there, so we can see what it looks like. We got the time machine from Back to the Future 1. We get some side views of it. Legalese stuff. But on the back you get the Back to the Future. This is technically the end of Back to the Future, but the beginning of Back to the Future 2. We get a 2-in-1, so we get two of these, and we got some printed bricks, some stickers, some things in there. This is going to be so cool. Absolutely cool. I have been looking at reviews on this thing, and I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to dig into this one. Okay, so we do have a couple of these flexible pieces. We get a bit of a frame here. This is, I think, Speed Champion's frame. We got some stickers there. We got our booklet there. Bag one. Let's go ahead and we're going to open this up. We get some cross-sell art. We got, of course, the, oh my goodness, Lightning McQueen. We got a Ferrari there, a Bugatti. I don't know if any of this, I know that there's a drift car that I'm wanting to get from Speed Champions. That's actually from Tokyo Drift from, was it Fast and the Furious? So, I mean, I might get like one of those, but I'm not, I haven't gotten a lot of the Speed Champion stuff. And I don't know. All right, so it says from 1985 to 2026. Very nice. Got a picture of the car there. We get a picture of the car there. That's the actual toy. 1 to 2 builders build together. And we're going to go ahead and open up bag one. And I believe we get to put together our Marty McFly. And everything in bag one. Make sure that we're empty there. Yeah. All right. And then we got some small bags here. Oh, we do get both Marty and Doc. Let's start with Marty. So we got his blue jeans there. We've got his face. There's Marty's face. We have his preserver, also known as his quilted vest, thermal vest thingy. Let's give him the smirking face. Nobody calls me chicken. All right. So I've got Doc Brown stuff, but I don't see Marty's hair in here. Ah, found it. There's Marty's hair. Interestingly enough, this has both paper and plastic. So there is Marty McFly. Look at that. I know some people were kind of, they're like, it's an okay minifig. It doesn't look like him. I think it looks fine. We got the printing of the blue jean jacket with the shirt, printing on the back. It's a pretty good looking minifig. We'll put his vest back on. I know the original one had, I think it was a printed vest on there. I kind of like the idea of the printed vest. I think for me though, this stud, unless we have a backpack, that feels a little out of place. But that's just me. And then we got Doc. All right, so let me go ahead. I'm going to open this up. The other bag one. Make sure there's nothing in there. Make sure there's nothing in there. Those are both empty. And let's put our Doc Brown together. Dr. Emmett Brown. Actually, my family got me a Doc Brown action figure from Nika, and I need to dig that out and put them together. I'm always afraid of the Nika figures, though, because I'm always afraid they're going to break. We'll give him his head with the bandage on. Great Scott! 1.21 gigawatts. We actually just watched that recently. Love that movie. Absolutely love it. Okay. So let's start with bag one. We're going to start putting this together. So we got this gray piece. We got that there. We got this. And we're starting the base of our Speed Champion build. And then we need 4 of these little L plates. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And they're going to go out that way. Boom. Boom. Boom and boom. And I know there's a lot of people that's like, well, the doors aren't going to open up and there's certain things it's not going to do. I was like, yeah, but I mean, I know there's some limitations in this build. And I'm not, when we get to it, we start talking about the wheels and the movement of the wheels changing and all that. There's going to be a few things I'm going to be probably a little irked about when it comes to the way that the wheels are set up. But at the same time, from what I've seen, this thing's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right. So now we need 2 of these dark gray bricks, 1x1 bricks. And then 1x1, and these are in blue, but we got some 1x1 round studs there. Boom and boom. Look at that. That's looking good. Okay. We got a couple of these snot plates, and they're 1x1 snot plates with the downward inversion. So it's going to go down. And then it looks like another one of our 1x1 plates. Oh, no, that's not 1x1, but that's a 1x6, and then 1x6 brick. It's going to go up there on top. This is going to go right here on the bottom. Very cool. And then looks like 2. Count them, 2 L plates. Those are going to go inside. Nice. And now we've got this this chassis piece. Now, this is an interesting looking chassis piece. It's empty on the bottom, but I mean, I guess if you could actually you could stud it on the bottom there. I'm gonna grab this so I don't. There we go. It is a tight clutched fit. I'll go ahead and tell you that. It is a tight fit. All right, so we have our chassis here. And that's going to fit right into there. Now, I've helped my kid put together some Speed Champion stuff, but I honestly, I can't remember. I don't remember this, but I'm pretty sure most of the Speed Champions has that. I actually probably need to pick up, like I said, it's Paul Walker's car from Tokyo Drift. That's one that I've been wanting to pick up. I might pick that up eventually here pretty soon. I think I should. We do have these. Now, these are specialty 2x4 bricks that have the Technic cross in the center, which is pretty cool. We got those in red. And then looks like and another spot here. So we got a 2x4 plate, and then another one of our, and they're almost like wheels, but they're the modified 1x2 bricks to plate, which is a 2x6. Okay, and then it looks like two of our modified plates here, so snot plates. So we got 1 and 2, and then 4 of these 1x2 plates that are rounded. And they're going on the inside here. Okay. So let's see. Let's pop that in. I will say, putting these in does feel like a little bit of a chore here. Just because of the way that these walls are built up. But it's not going to keep me from getting it done. It just makes the challenge that much more. It makes the build feel that much sweeter. All right, here we go. Got it in there. So far, I'm not too bad. I mean, it doesn't look like the time machine, but I think we're onto something. All right, so we do have a, let's see, this is a, oh my goodness, I'm trying to find that. That is a 1x2 modified tile. Another one of our 1x2 plates that are rounded. And then 2 of these 1x1 round tiles. And let's see where we're putting things. So we've got our 1x1s, 1 and 2. And I guess this is going to be center console stuff. That's what we're building right here. Boom. And then that's going to go right there. And I'm wondering if that's where like the shifter is going to go. All right, we do. Wow, this is actually pretty cool. So we got 1x3. I'll bring them up. These are 1x3 rounded modified plates. I don't often feel like we see 1x3 rounded plates like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Sounds because that's not something I see very often. All right, and then we're gonna put these 1x1 rounded studs on top. Again, all this stuff I think is being buried because it's not stuff that we're necessarily gonna see right now. And then, you know, I kept saying that it's like I didn't think that these were very familiar, but now looking at it, we got a set in black and a set in white in that 1x3 round modified plates. That's kind of cool. And then we need 1, 2, 3, and that's 1x1 plates with claws on them. And I have a feeling that's what's going to hold part of the seat. 1, 2. Let's turn, make sure that these are turned a certain way. 3 and 4. There we go. I'm checking something real quick over here. All right. So looking good so far. All right. So We now need 2 of these cheese wedges, and they're 1x2 cheese wedges. We get a 1x1 tile with a rounded end. Looks like a 1x1 round stud in black, a 1x1 round stud in blue. And yeah, we're going to keep building. So that stud's going right in there. We got our 1x1 tile's going to go there. That looks nice. And then, yeah, I have a feeling that this is probably our microphone. That's where that is. That's going to be the shifter. And then it looks like these are going to be probably the bottom of the seats. This is fun. I'm enjoying this one quite a bit. Oh, now we start getting to build the mechanism. Okay. So if you remember in the movie, he has a circuit. The circuit is what controls the time placement and everything. It's not the flux capacitor, but it works in tandem to the flux capacitor and just kind of helps kick off the machine. So this is the circuit, the thing that has to turn to kick everything on. So we are taking a, you don't get these very often at all. Let me find, I think I've got some pliers here. I've got a stud. No, it's actually a 1x1 tile that was stuck in there. So we don't get these, but this is a 1x2 brick with a modified snot on it, instead of it being a double snot, it's just a one single snot. And then this is a headlight brick. You always know it's a headlight because if it has an edge there, that's meant for you to put a tile or something on there. That's what's called a headlight brick. 1x1 headlight. Okay, now we've got our little keys. All right, so you've got your part where you can type stuff in. You've got your stud here, and then this is the time circuit for him to turn, bloop, to turn everything on. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love this. Okay, that's going to fit right in there. Oh, how cool is that? That is cool. It's interesting that even though this is a smaller Lego build, it's not like the massive Icon series build, but still, as a small Lego build, they're still putting in key details that really make the difference. And to me, that just says a lot for what they are building and doing and showing. Like, hey, we really want to pay homage to this and give it the send off that it needs. That makes me quite happy. Honestly, if I could get all the different sets, I do actually would love to have the icon set. But it's also still would want the minifigs, but because it is so expensive, I got some cheaper minifigs off of AliExpress. I'm gonna have to be. I'll probably have to be happy with that. This will end up being my definitive time machine, and yeah, I just won't be able to get the others. Now I have all 3 of the time machines from the Hollywood rides. It's like the 138th scale, I think, or 136 scale vehicles. I've taken them out and put them back in their box because each box has like a little thing with it, like a background. I've taken them out and looked at them, and I enjoy them very much, but I have each one from each movie. And so I like to line them up that way. It's one of those where I haven't quite, like the Hollywood rides, I don't really get rid of the boxes just because the display portion of it is so nice. I like to keep them. But I mean, I should actually review those one day just to kind of look at them. You can still find them every once in a while. I have that. I think I've got the Jeep from. I think I have the Jeep that they first ride in from Jurassic Park. I've got the time machines. And it seems like I've got something else over there. I can't remember what else I have. But yeah. Okay, now we've got some, again, more modified snot plates. This time they're going down. 1 and 2. And we're going to keep going. And we're almost done with bag 1, honestly. This is a pretty solid build so far. 1, 2. And then we start getting some of our displacement plates. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that. Look at that. And it is a rounded modified wedge tile. But look, it has the displacement. It's in blue, transparent blue, with displacement printing for that metal grating on the outside, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so we're going to take our 1x3 rounded plate. We're going to put our regular 1x2 plate on it, and then we're going to put our displacement panel on the end. And we're making 2 of those. Boom, boom, and boom. Oh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That goes there. This one goes here. Oh, turn it back around, Tay. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Pretty cool. We need 2 more of our L plates and 2 of these tiles. 1x2 tiles. Let's see. Where do we put them? Plate goes right here. Looks like the tile goes right over here. Okay, and the same thing on the other side. So that goes there. Tile goes right back here. So kind of like that. All right, number 28. And now we're on bag 2. Already on bag 2. Now, I didn't think, it was one of those that's like, I didn't think it was going to take very long. And I'm okay with that. I don't necessarily, sometimes I don't want things to take too long. Like if I'm doing a big build, like the Western builds for like Luma bricks, things like that, some of those I want to last a while. But there have been, like when I did the build for the Midnight Haunted Mansion, that took a while. That one took a very long time. All right, so we have a 1x8. How do we know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 studs on the bottom. So this is a 1x8 tile. We know it's a tile because it has no studs on top. It is only 1 stud wide, 8 studs deep, and because you can't count for studs, you would count the portions in between. So there's 7 spots in between, which means you have 8 anti-studs underneath. Anti-studs, that's what attaches to things. So that is a 1x8. So we need 1 1x8 tile. We have all, this is nice. We have 2 1x4 wedges, cheese wedges. And then we need 8 of these headlight lamps, 1x1 headlights. Okay, so there's 6 there, and 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, going by multiples of 2. We got them all there. All right. Let's go ahead and start adding these. So we're going to kind of go in a row. They're using the headlight lamps because I have a feeling they want it to like kind of go inward a little bit, as far as like, instead of it sticking out so far, the headlight lamp will allow it to sit inside the brick a little bit more, and that gives it a little bit of a lip on the bottom. Makes it easy if you're putting these on plates as well. Pretty cool design. Genius design. Then we'll put our cheese wedges on top. 1 and 2. Looky there. We already got ourselves part of a build here. And okay, so this is going upside down. So instead of it being normal, we're using the anti-studs on top. We're using the anti-studs on the back here to attach to here. And so that way the back of this is turned down. Genius. Absolutely genius. Okay, we get our first decal. Now, I am going to use my shirt. I want to wipe down this tile real quick. I don't want a bunch of fingerprints on there. And we need number 6. So before we do this, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pop this off. I'm going to make things just a little bit easier. I know that this is going to go this way. The actual words are going to go up. So I'm going to grab this sticker here for the DeLorean. So I'm going to pop it over here. I want this one to line up over here first. So using my brick separator, I'm going to lay that into place. Now, the reason why I don't use my fingers too often is because your grease from your fingers, that's also why I wipe down the tile, you can get all over the place and cause issues. Whereas if you want a nice sticker that's all lined up, you can use the edge of this to put it in a place and to keep it steady. And so if you need to pull it up and move it, you can without getting your finger grease all over everything. That looks nice. Look at that. DeLorean. Very, very nice. Okay. On 31, and we just need one of the snot bricks there. 1x2 snot brick. That's a regular snot brick. All right, here we go. So we need 3 of these 1x2 plates. 1, 2, and 3. Very nice. And we'll go over to 33. Now, 33 we do have, it is a type of modified 2x4 plate. Look at that. You say it's modified because it's 2x4 plate, so it's regular plate, but it has holes in it. So they're almost like stud holes or holes that you can use to peg things on. And then we need 2 of these modified 1x2s that have claws on it. Pretty cool. All right, now this is going on the back. So this is going to be all area where we're building up the displacement part of the machine, which detail-wise, it looks like there's quite a bit there. It's going to look great. All right, and then we need 1x2s of the 1x2 rounded plates. 1 and 2. Looky there. Looking good. Okay, 35. We need 2 of these modified 1x2s. We need 1 of the stud with stem, 2 of the 1x1 round plates. We call them studs as well, but and then 1 round tiles with stems on them. And yeah, it looks like we're gonna have a positive plate and a negative plate. So we got 1, put that on that one, and then the other is gonna have red on it. Put a red on it right there. Okay. And it looks like that one's going there, and that one's gonna be going there. All right. Kind of make sure everything is like clutched down and ready. It looks fine. With the new table, it makes it a little bit easier to press for clutch power. I'm still doing things by hand though. It just that's kind of a given at this point. Got a 1x6, and then 2 of these 1x2s. Lots of red and blue, but I think that's just because we're hiding it underneath, and we need to see where we can hide things and make things work. So there we go. 37. So we do have, these are kind of cool. These are 1x6. They are 1x6 snot plates. They're unique in that they only have 1 stud on the back holding that in. So we got 1 here. We're going to pop that on there. And that should attach right here. 1. We're doing the same thing, but this time to the other side. We put our stud there, and this should be going and lining up here. And we're using all of the studs on the side, the actual snots here, because I have a feeling we're pleating all of this, which works out. Really works out. I mean, so far it's looking grand. Okay, we need 2 cheese wedges. 1 and 2. And 2 of our 1x2 rounded modified plates. 1, 2. And we're going to go ahead and pop that in. And this is going to go up here on the edges. So we got 1 going on this side and 1 going on the other. That should be on the interior of the car. 1 and 1. Let's see. Doc, do you agree that we're doing right? Great Scott! It's looking good. Marty, are you excited about driving this thing? Of course he is. Of course he is. All right. Now we do get a tile here. So we got, and I'm trying to remember, these are actually called, I've got one over here. They are 2412. It's tile modified 1x2 grill. And this one is actually in silver, which is nice. So we got a silver. We got 2 of these modified 1x2x2. No, it's a 1x1x2 snot plate. And then we got 1. Oh, my goodness. And then 1 1x1 tile and 1 1x1 plate. And they're both in transparent. So we got this one with the tile with the grill on it. Okay. And this one is almost like a circuit tester that goes in the back with the red and the green. Looks good. This is going right back here. Make sure they're in the right spot. 1. This one's going up. 2. Okay. Yeah. It works. And this part I think I'm most excited about. Okay, so this is the part that makes the car work. This is what we like to call the flux capacitor. Now, it is on a transparent tile. I'll go ahead and tell you that there's one side has printing, one side that has the anti-printing. The side with the printing up, that you want upwards, that snaps into place for a little window unit, and you've got your flux capacitor. There is some speculation the flux capacitor is actually AI built, the actual time circuit itself. Because if you think about it, there were certain things that happened. The flux capacitor wouldn't engage and things wouldn't happen until it was like, you know, in the first movie, Marty he couldn't get the car started. The car stalled out again, which was usually based on the flux capacitor. But every time the car would stall out, if it didn't stall out at a certain time, he would have been too early and they would have blown their chance to have the lightning go through. So there's some ideas that the flux capacitor actually, you know, operates in a certain way that it's almost like an intelligence that keeps things quantifiably grand in the grand scheme of things. Keeps the time displacement working correctly. I like that. I really do like that idea. There's a video I like to watch on YouTube that was it was all saved by a bottle of whiskey, I think, the Back to the Future story. It is well worth checking out. If I think about it, when I do the review, I might throw that in for people to check out. I really do think that that's an awesome video. It's a really cool idea as well. All right, so we got 2 of these bars with stud, and they are going to be going right through here. Boom. 1 and 2. We're going to go ahead and set both of them up. 1 and 2. That should go in here, and then this one will peg into there. Very, very nice. At one point, I had built a small, it was like a model flux capacitor for my car. and I had that in my car for a while. It got heavily beat up. It's actually now it's part of my fan system up on the ceiling. I actually would like to go back and rebuild it and do a new one for my car. At some points, I would ride around with my kid. He was really young. He might not remember it, but I'd say, all right, let's do our time thing. And I'd say, let's get up to 88 miles an hour. And he hadn't seen it yet, but he thought it was a lot of fun. So it's been this seeing these pieces and parts and stuff just kind of just reinforces all the fun that we had with this series, especially with my kid before it was even time. Okay, so we're gonna pop now. This is an interesting part of the build, so we are popping that into place. Now this, I need to press that down a little bit more. Snap. There we go. This portion back here is going to be where the pole goes in. So I know we get a fishing pole at one point that's going to sit out. That's the catch that they have for the lightning. We don't always have to put it on. I prefer the time machine from Back to the Future 1 at the end of the film, but not always in flying mode. So, we got to decide on what we want. But I figured tonight we'll build. I'll probably build the one I want, and then I'll change it up and get the parts ready to show like kind of how they work and stuff for the other parts of the build. Looking good. Now we're on bag 3. Now bag 3 we do have some printed parts, which is always cool. I'm always down for printed parts. Now it's interesting because they were going like papered bags. They're trying to go with the plastic less bags, but I've noticed that some of the bags have plastic, like they're plastic bags, but then they have like the paper in them. I'm not quite sure why the change, but I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me. It just seems kind of odd. So we got our guidance system that's going on top. They're just using a what is it, the binoculars for that, which works. And then we got a couple of our tilt plates. One, and I should have another one in here, too. About to say, if I didn't have that, that would be upsetting not to have the parts that you want. I mean, they've come through. Lego's come through and they've sent me parts. I've got I think another part that's on order that was missing that they're sending us from an older set, which I'm grateful for, but it's one of those. Sometimes it takes so long for them to come in. It's like, All right, we do have this printed. It's a printed radar dish. But look at that. You've got some. See if I can bring it up a little bit. You've got all the printing on the outside, and then we got our modified cone there. It's going to go right down in here. There we go. It's looking more like the time machine. All the technical stuff in the back. It's looking nice. Okay. And then we have this little bar. And this is going to go from one to the other right across here. Oh, that's satisfying. Look at that. That is truly satisfying. And then we got these modified 1x1 snot bricks. And these are going to be going inward. So they do have us using these skates for some greebly stuff. Interestingly enough, on one of my hold on, it seems like I've got yeah, cheap viewers on Streamboo. No, thank you. I was doing some greebly work on my cyber hospital portion of my building, and I actually had some skates left over that I use for parts of like dials and stuff for like lights. It works. It's it's interesting being able to use, you technically design a part for a specific thing, and then down the road you can change it up and use it for other stuff. And that's kind of the genius in some of our Lego sets. If you're able to take these parts and use them for other things, it's great. Okay. Now we do need two of these, and they're in black, but we got two 1x1 cheese wedges. Let me find the other one right here. And then two of these 2x2 by 1 snot plates, and they're the ones that go upwards. So this one should go the opposite direction. There we go. And where are we putting these? Right on the back. Boom. Hate it when that happens. I've already torn the page. That irks me. Okay, and then we've got two of these. What is that? 1x3. That's unusual. 1x3 cheese wedge. So that one's going to go here. This one's going to go on the back side. Ba ba bum. Ba da ba 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 da 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 da. All right, and now it looks like we've got. Very nice. So these are the 1x2x2. They're the stemmed, clippable plates. So we got two of those. And then we've got these modified 1x2 tiles that have a slant cut in them. That one's going to go above this. And this one's going to go above this one on this side. This looks grand, by the way. Like, all the stuff that they're adding in here just looks downright amazing. Look at that. That beautiful. Okay. Looks like we might be building some tail lights. So we've got, we're going to be doing this twice. So we do need, let's grab all 6 of our 1x1 transparent red tiles. We'll need 2 of our transparent tiles. We have 2 1x1. Well, keep saying tiles. They're plates. 2 1x1 plates in black, and 2 1x1 snot plates as well. So snot. We got a black plate. We've got our transparent, and then 1, 2, 3 of the transparent red. 2 and 3. I'm gonna find a brick here in a minute to straighten those up. I don't like them like that. I like them straight. So we'll get a tool here in a minute. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so like right there, you see how they're kind of all over the place. I like to take a tool like this, or you can use like even a plate, anything that's nice and flat. I like to take it and just press it in here and here. I like to make sure they're all nice and squared up. Same with this one. That one's pretty rough. You see how it's all over the place. We're going to take our tool here. We're going to press it against the side of the tool here and here and here, just to make sure they're all nice and lined up. Now, this, I had a feeling this is going on the back. This is going to be probably the backlights, the way they're doing that. And what's cool is that they're going to have us put some printed transparent yellow cheese wedges on there. That's something you don't see. Now, this will be a very specific part to the time machine because it's a transparent wedge with gray printing on it. That's not one you're going to find everywhere. Not at all. And then we're going to put these on the end, and there you go. Look, right there's your light kit for the back of your car. Oh, that's amazing. Amazing. Okay. We got another that 1x1 tile with grill. Let's find it. And then we got a 2x2 modified plate. So it's a 2x2, and I say modified because it's a 2x2 tile that's modified. It's got 2 studs up. And then we've got our grill that's going to go on top of there. And this should go right there. And then our license plate will actually go in there. We're not doing that, I think, until we get to a certain portion. So once the car is built, then they'll give us a choice between going 1 and 2. We're going to go between the two. So we're going to go with the back end of 2, but we're going to go with the wheels of 1. Trust me on this. Trust me. I have a plan. I promise. I promise. All right. We need 2 of these. Now, these are the grilled... these are actually grilled wedges, 1x2 wedges. And then we need 2 of our regular wedges. And then... yeah, I love that. Look, I love that we're getting this. So this is out of the gate. We've got a 2x2 plate that is a modified to a 1x2 plate. That is super cool. This is not these. Some of these parts are not parts that you just find in every kit in every place. And I love that they are really finding some of the coolest parts to build with here. So this is the back exhaust unit that we're building. That looks great. Look at that. That looks great. I'm going to throw it because I kind of grabbed the wrong one. It's going to go here. This is going right there. Oh, I see. And then we've used this modified plate here to square up on the end over there. Just to fill that in right there. Look at that. Oh, that looks great. All right. Now we're doing the same thing on the other side. I'll grab all of our parts. I can see why they had us doing one at a time, because the way where we place the actual 1x2 modified tile is going to be in a different spot this next time. So that should go, yeah, like right over here. And then we'll put these on the end. Boom. And boom. And this one will go right over here. Oh. There we go. I mean, already out of the gate, look at that. That is so much the time machine right there. Oh, that's beautiful. That is gorgeous. This is such a satisfying build. I'm not even going to lie. I should be going to bed because I know I've got a Lumabricks live tomorrow, but there's something about this. I was so excited about building this, and now it's like I'm in here, like I'm supposed to be kind of like toning things down and getting ready for bed, but I was so excited about the prospect of getting to build this that I couldn't go to sleep. So it's going to be, once it's built, and I think once I have that stuff done, then I think I'll be ready. All right. So again, with the stickers, gonna lay that into place. Gonna put that on. And then we've got some hinge teeth portions here on the bottom. I have a feeling that that's going to hook onto something there. And that's going to go on the side. Look at that. Now, hopefully this will line up. I don't know. It's sometimes lining up stickers like that when you got multiple plates, it's a little rough to do. Pull my foot up real quick. We're going to go to the other side this time. So again, another modified plate. So it's another modified tile. It is a tile that actually has a printing on it. Looks like I've got one more over here. So I guess they gave me an extra. That's very interesting. Okay, so we got this one. Got this one straightened up. And then this should be sticker number 3. Boom. And then we're going to line that one up as well. So again, using my tool here, my brick separator, going to lay it into place. Boom. There we go. My phone's going crazy because I guess there's a conversation going on. It's usually either with the North Texas Ghostbusters or with another crew that's got the Ninjago. It's a group of people that I chat with sometimes on the builder part of the site on TikTok. So, and then we got all these extra pieces here left over. There's quite a bit, honestly. But look at there. We're already on bag 4. Already on bag 4. I have a feeling with this one, because normally, like, if I have certain parts left over, I kind of put them in the bins. Certain sets, I know with my Luma bricks, I usually bag up their extras, put them away. This is probably going to be another one where I bag up my extras, put it away. Because there's going to be certain things that if it gets lost, I'm going to want to find it. And I know that little tiny tile, this one right here, if I pull that up, little tiny tile, 1x1 tile with black printing on it. That's going to be one of those pieces down the road they're going to go insane over. All right, so we've got a 1x6. And it looks like a 1x3, but it's a one. Let me find it. It is a 1x3 that is rounded 1x3 plate. If I can find it in here. Found it. And that's going to go right over here on this side. Boom. Okay. And we're moving on. So we were on 65. Now we are on 66. Okay. I had to excuse my sinuses. They are going crazy today. Whatever's in the air, it's about that time. It's that time and season for it, I guess. Okay. Now, looks like we've got a sticker. We got a 1x6. 1x6. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 spaces in between each one of the anti-studs. So if there's 5, add one that's 6. So you know that's where that's supposed to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then one more of the claw. I'm going to put all of these into place here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then this claw portion goes on the bottom. And we need number 2. I'm going to go ahead and wipe this tile down real quick. And I'm going to look for number 2. Looks like number 2 is either or, so it's kind of the same. Sometimes it'll be like, well, no, it's this one or this one. It looks like the big stripe is going on the bottom, so let's line this up. Well played, sticker. Well played. That looks good. Look at that. That looks good. I'm not too keen. I mean, the sticker is just a little bit off in color, but it's not too bad. And they're still adding the details. But we are using these hinge plates here as a way to create all of the bottom portion of this line to make things look like all the circuit portions that go along the bottom of this thing. That is actually pretty sharp. Very, very sharp. All right, we got a 1x1 plate. Looks like a 1x4 wedge. Don't see these wedges like this often. And then a 1x1 wedge as well. The 1x1 wedge is going up here in the front. Then we got our plate. So that's probably where our actual side view mirror is going to be. And we got this one going on the side. Okay, it is a 1x1 quarter round. It's going to go over there, and this goes right up there to create a side view mirror. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. So far, like getting into this and seeing this, it's at 1x8 and then a cheese wedge. So far, getting into this and building on this level of a Speed Champion set, I am definitely willing to get more. I dig this quite a bit. Okay, I see. We're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 and 4, that's 8. So it is 8 studs wide, which is, I think, standard for Speed Champions, isn't it? Pretty sure that is. Okay, we got a 1x1 round stud, a steering wheel, and a 1x1 modified. Looks like this is going on the end there, and then the steering wheel is going on top. I'm going to turn it with the, there you go, like that. I like to have it to where the idea of the, was it 90, or no, it's your, I say 12, 1, 2, 2 o'clock, and is it 10 o'clock, I think, for your driving, to make sure your hands are in the right spot. So, yeah. All right, this is going to go down here, so it's going to peg onto there, and that's where our steering wheel is going to be. Pretty cool. Now, I couldn't remember if the actual seats in the DeLorean, I thought they were brown, but I might be wrong. They might actually be black. Here's our time circuit. So this is our, well, it's not the time circuit, but it's the time displacement. So this is our LED readout of all of our times. And we do have November 5th, 1955. October 26, 1985, and October 26, 1985 again. So they are giving us the placement for the original car. So all the circuits there for the original car. Which I dig. I love that they have that in there. And it's printed. It's not a sticker. It's actually a printed brick. That'll be another one of those bricks that becomes like... down the road, people are going to be coveting that one. Be like, oh, I can never, ever, ever give it up. Give it a few years, and all of a sudden, people will start going crazy over this. I mean, in a way, they're already starting to go crazy over it now. Okay, so we do have, I'm looking for, I should have a black cheese wedge. There we go. And this one gets the sticker. Now, this is number 5, so this is the plutonium gauge. And there are a couple of gauges in the film off to the side. I'd have to pull my Hollywood Rides models to see exactly where they're at. But they're going to have this over in front of the passenger seat. So you do have your plutonium gauges. They're going to go right up there. Boom. Very nice. And now it looks like we're going to be building the other side of the car right over here. So grab another one of our 1x6 plates. We need 5 of these hinge plates. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then another one of these. I have a feeling they're going to use that probably to hold the line that goes around this, which is smart thinking on their half. And I say that because normally we plate it in where we're putting a ratchet plate on there, this and that, but the way that it sets in, it would hold a little like vinyl line or something like that, keep it from moving, and it would hold it in place, and it would feel like it's actually doing what it's supposed to do. Now, before I put that sticker on again, I'm going to wipe this down. And let's grab our number 2 sticker. I'm going to grab it from this side, because I want the bottom of it to go to here. I'll lay that down again using the brick separator. Look at that. Smooth, smooth, smooth. That is what am I can't remember if I'm 46 or 47 at this point. I kind of at that point where I can't even remember. But that's what, 30 something years of toy collecting can do for you. Where you go, then you're able to just lay down those stickers beautifully. But also with the trick of using the brick separator, man, it really does help. It really does help. If you're an AFOL, not even if you're an AFOL, if you just like Lego stuff, big into the building, even kids, if there's kids that watch this and they're kind of into it, dude, using that brick separator to put your sticker down and just having a steady hand it's a game changer. It really is. All right, so we got another one of our plates, and then a 1x1 cheese wedge on the end there. Look at that. That's looking phenomenal. Phenomenal. All right, another one of our 1x1 snot plates, and then another 1x1 quarter round tile. That's going to go here. This should fit right there on the end. And this is going to snap into place right there. How gorgeous is that? Oh, absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love that you can still pull those seats up and push them back. It's excellent, excellent, excellent build so far. Okay. Now we need, it looks like we might be building the front of this car at this point, so we need a 2x4 and then a 2x2 tile, 2x4 plate, 2x2 modified tile. That's going to fit right on top of there. And I say modified, it's a 2-stud modified. If it had 1 stud, that would also be modified, but it's a different modified. Boom. And boom. And then it looks like 2 of these L plates. Boom and boom. Okay. Not sure where we're going with this, but I have a feeling we're going to find out. Looks like 2 studs, so round studs. And then 2 of these 2x2 modified plates, but it looks like the plate is pointing down. Okay. And then we've got 2 of these tiles, and then 2 of these. Now, this is unique for me. This is a type of plate with I'm not sure what that is, but I've never seen this one before. Very interesting. This is a unique piece for me, but this it's a 1x2 tile with inverted wall on it. There we go. There and there. And then these are going to snap into place. 1 and 2. Okay. And then we need 2 of these 1x5s. Now, I was actually tripping because I know that Lumabricks does 1x5s fairly often, but I don't remember ever having too many 1x5s. I always thought that they like to, besides for the 1x3s, Lego always had it to where you kind of did your 1x3, 1x4s, 1x2s, 1x1s, 1x6s, 1x8s, but they kind of skipped around. But they started making 1x5s, and I actually really appreciate that. All right, so we got another 1x6 It's going to be going across here. And then we've got our 1x2 round plate. And we're building up again. So 2 more L plates and then 2 more 1x1 round studs. And looks like that's going to go down and down. And these are going to go on the end. 1 and 2, just like that. Okay. Make sure that's doing what it's supposed to do. Okay. And, oh, I see. This is going to be the bottom portion of the car. This is going to push into place right there. It's going to be a pretty significant size. Look at that. And you've got that for the... And I can't remember what it's called on the car. On my car, it constantly falls off, but it's basically, it's almost like a cow plow. It's a small piece underneath. It's supposed to kind of push things out of the way. Scoop it up, move it. Doesn't always work that way, though. I wish it did, but it doesn't. Especially with the plastic ones. Eesh. Mine tend to get caught on curbs because I'm still not used to driving such a long car. That these days it gets caught up on the curb. Kind of what, there's a part of me would like to go and get a classic car. Looky there. Now, this will be interesting because we got one wheel well that's further down than the other. This one's a lot further up. So I wonder if it's actually going to tilt the car. Yeah. That'll tilt the car forward a little bit. That's actually pretty cool. Pretty cool design. Not something you see every day. All right. We got an L plate that's going on the back there. We got a 2x4 that's going to be going right up there. All this locking into place. Make a room for the steering wheel, etc., etc. And then we've got another 1x8. That's going to go way down here. And then it looks like a 1x6. That should line up right there. Oh, that's gorgeous. Look at that. Man. Such a cool car. We're already on our last bag. This is bag number 5. I'm surprised. I'm shocked and surprised. But also very, very, very excited. I mean, look at, so far this has been about an hour build. It'll go a little bit further than that, but man, it's a solid build, man. I dig this vehicle quite a bit. I know I also got the EV supercar. You know, depending, we'll see. We'll see where I'm at after this if I want to build that one or not. All right, so we've got a 4x4 plate. We've got 2 of these 1x3s. There's 5 of them in there. 1x3. That's gonna be cool. We've got these 1x2 modified. So another 1x3, and another one of our modifieds right there. Boom. Look at all these printed parts. You got printed wheel wells. Got the printed lights. You've got 1x1 tiles that are printed with the little matrix thing. You've got the California out of time. Then my personal favorite, you got the barcode. And they do have the, oh, believe it or not, they do have the numbers on the bottom too for 2015. Then you've got these curves that actually have, they're translucent blue, but then they've got the printing on it. Of course, the window set, same. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous build. A lot of the pieces and parts, just, they're phenomenal. Even Mr. Fusion. The Mr. Fusion is printed as well. Ah. This makes me happy. This is a solid, solid build. I am loving, absolutely loving this. Okay. Let's stop gushing over it for a minute, Tay, and let's finish this up, right? So I know some people were complaining about the window portion of this. They're like, this, there's a gap in there. This got this. This doesn't bother me actually. There to create for them. It's like 1 and 1, a 1x2. We need 2 of those, and then a plate with a clip. 2. Let's find the other ones. 1 and 2, and this is where we're building our roof, or not our roof, but our hood. So we got cheese wedge. This is our plate with clip, and then we've got 1x2 cheese wedge that goes up there. Let me turn that the correct way. That should go this way. Boom. Solid, solid, solid. That goes there. This one goes here. That one's going to go right there on the end. Man, look at that. Ah, that's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. For the price point that we're getting for this too, this thing is not too expensive. I could honestly, if I had the extra money, I could see buying another one just to do, the time machine from the first one and the time machine from the second one. Sadly enough, they kind of forgot about the third film. They're like, hey, we don't actually like the third film. I happen to like all of them. Third film could have been easy to have a plate up here for a circuit, and then to put the clips on the wheels that were red. That's kind of what we need. Now that doesn't clip down all the way. That kind of irks me just a little bit, but oh, I see. It doesn't have it's all up in the front. Okay, so we're good. We're good. My bad. I mean, look at that. That's more and more and more like the DeLorean time machine. If you're going to travel to the future, might as well do it in style. All right, so we got 1, 2. We don't need the out of time. We need a different. So we got 2 of these 1x2 tiles. We got 1, 2. So these are 1x1x2 snot bricks. A 1x1 snot brick. Cheese wedges. 1 and 2. And then 2 1x2 plates. 1. That's fine. I know I've got 1 more in there. Surely it's in there, right? Move the tires over here. Yeah, I see it. It's right there. Okay. Whew. Okay, so we're going to put our tile there. And then this is going to be going, let's see, that goes this way. This is going down. I'm going to pull it up. That's going here on the end. And then cheese wedge going right there on the end. Okay. And we're making 2 of these. And I know this is the front for the light well area. This will be interesting how they're doing this. I'm already kind of, it's like I'm perplexed, but I see some of what they're doing and I already know. But at the same time, I'm like, wow, how is this going to work? It's like I know how it's going to work. I can see it, but I'm also amazed at the same time. So we got 2 of them. Okay, now this should go 1 and 2, just like that. All right, then we need 1 of these, and it's not quite a Travis brick, but it is a 1x2x2 snot brick. with the sides on it. It's so cool. All right, that's going here. And then we have two time displacement tiles. 1 and 2. Look at that. I'm going to turn this one around. I want to make sure that they line up correctly. Much better. 1 and 2. There we go. And then we've got 1, 2. Find we've got these printed little panels here that actually have they have headlights on them. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I'm trying to decide on, I think it's, yeah, we go print out. All right. That should fit right into here. Am I correct? No. We want to do it print out this way. Okay. 1. Oh, that's a good snap. And then 2. There we go. And then these are going to pop into place 1 and 2 there. Beautifully cheese wedges that go on the ends. 1 here. And 1 here on this end. Look at that. Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, and then we're going to finish up with our time circuit portions, our little displacement bar. That one goes here. The other one is going to go on this side. And again, they're all transparent blue, but they're all printed, which is just, it's such a beautiful concept. Very cool. All right, and then we've got our last sticker that's got the DMC on it. Let's grab our brick and grab our sticker here. Beautifully centered. Oh, wow. Man, look at that. Just absolutely gorgeous. Okay. Sticker sheet, I think that's it. I'm going to set that off to the side. This should snap into place right there. Straighten that up right there. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. That's fancy. Downright fancy. Okay. Then we've got a 1x2 modified wedge plate. And then we have our time displacement tiles. That's a 1x1. And then we've got a 1x1 round tile with peg on it. They pegged me for a different guy, but obviously they won me over with this one. All right, that goes here, and this should set into place right there. And it's locked in, beautifully locked in. All right, and then we're doing the same thing on the other side. So we'll grab our other time displacement tile. We need our other modified plate, and then tile with stem. Right here, we're going to be going to the other side. So there, and then this should lock into place there. Super, super duper fancy. Look at that. Oh, wow. Honestly, as much as I'm enjoying the build on this, I'm actually thinking I would buy another one of these just to have another set. This is, wow, this is a cool build. Okay, now we do have our little lines here, okay? Now, they got it showing where certain things are going. Okay, so we're going to start on this side over here. This goes all the way up here, sets onto this peg. And it looks like it's going through here. So it'll push through here. And then it'll go through that plate, through that one. Pull the slack out a little bit, and then this should go up over there. So give me a second, because it looks like we're gonna have to pull some extra slack out in order to get it where it needs to go. There's a bit of a tight fit. I'll go ahead and say that. Gonna pull that out through there. Okay. And then we'll push these plates back in. Yeah, that's a bit of a tight fit there. I mean, it works. It works, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you're not going to have a lot of wiggle room with it. So, with that being said, push that back down. Yeah. I mean, it's genius how they're doing it. Absolutely genius. But there is not a lot of room. Okay. Interestingly enough, we're doing one side right now, but we haven't done the other side. But we're going to take these 2 telescopes and a couple of these time displacement pieces here. 1, 2. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put this together. So this is going right on the bottom. Huh. And this should fit right in here up on top. So this whole thing is supposed to run through and attach to the top where our navigation array is. That's the actual particle beam, I believe, the projector right there. This is super cool. Super cool. Oh, I love this thing. Absolutely love it. Okay. We're using a drill and an arm to create one of the mechanisms that goes right back there, which is really cool. And then it looks like we need 1 and 2 of our up there. It's going to come and meet up over here. And then we get 1 more tile. I can see why they're having us focus on one side at a time. And then we'll kind of go over and do the other. We probably should have waited for this side if it wanted to make sense of, hey, we do this a little bit at a time. But it is okay by me. Now, I'm not too keen on that, but I don't know. That would be fine. That'll be fine. I can just see those. I mean, it's got good clutch power to it. I'll go ahead and give them that. But it looks phenomenal. Like, this thing looks fancy, fancy, fancy. Okay, 109. So we're over on 110. Now we're going to the other side. I'm going to start it again. I'm wondering if it would be better to start over here this time. Let's try that. We're going to start over here. Push that up. We'll go through and under. We'll go up over here. We'll go over here, and then we'll attach to the front of the car this time. We'll attach those. See how that works for us. Boom. I feel like that might have been a little bit better. Pull some slack out. Push everything back down. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's great. Absolutely great. Okay. And then we've got our tiles again. I'm going to go ahead and pull all of them because, and I'm going to be using all of them here in a minute. We've already got the array over here for this portion. Now, there's nothing that's going to be attached over here that's going back. So it's just because we've got a bar over here. So it's a little bit different. So one side is different than the other. They're not symmetrical. They are what we like to call asymmetrical, which makes sense because you're not going to have a computer system that is perfectly aligned no matter what. Wow. There's going to be certain things that are symmetrical. That makes sense, but not everything is. Look at this. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. All right. And then we've got these bars here. So we've got their bars with stems. And they're going to be going into this. So let's get real quick. And that's going to go down. This one's same. And that creates the bar in the back, which was a part of the back window, but now it's a part that holds all this together. That is gorgeous. Oh, wow. That is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beyond all so much. Now, what I'm going to do, okay, so at 122 and 128, so at 122, we would go and create this. 128, we would create the other. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change certain things. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and do the wheels. I will do the wheels because I want this to be able to speed along. I don't necessarily want to do the flying thing right now. I want it to be able to speed along and do the driving, but I'm gonna put the parts for the I'll put the parts for the time machine for the Mr. Fusion stuff. I'm gonna put them on the back with the new plate because I want time machine from the end of Back to the Future 2. If you've seen the movie and you know, I can't even tell you how many times I've watched top 10 at the very end of the film. We get the vehicle coming to us. It's got Mr. Fusion. It's got the new plate. And it has the wheels at first in the normal position. And then we get the change. Okay, so now I'm moving over to 114 to finish up this portion with the Mr. Fusion. Okay, so we've got our stud here. We're going to go ahead and put our Mr. Fusion. We're going to face it forward, and then we've got a 1x1 tile that's going to go up top. And that's going to fit right into where we normally put our plutonium. Then we've got our plate here. So this is our future plate. That's going to go right on the back. Boom. It's the orange plate there. And yeah, that's it. Now after that, they've got these pieces and parts for doing the tires to make the tires go a certain way so you can fly them. And how they're doing that is instead of having the peg where it rolls, they've got it where this, I believe, is... Let me pop this out. We'll take a look at it. Okay. This should be going and pegging up into here. It's interesting the way that they're doing it. I mean, it holds okay. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but they're doing it because they want the wheels to go up a certain height, but it doesn't make this roll anymore. Instead, it would just keep it as one way or another. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm actually going to change some Mr. Fusion. Let's make this actually the time machine from the very beginning of the film. So, time machine from the beginning of the film. It's, you don't get you don't get the future plate for sure, and you don't have the arm just yet. I'm gonna place that back on. So again, just changing that out. It's pretty basic. There's nothing to that. But going back, let's go back over here. Okay, so going back, you would take this yellow handle piece, boom, and that's where your plutonium fusion box is. Now, if we want it to be the time machine that's outside of the courthouse, we would take this that would peg up there, and then we've got your catch right there. But I'm going to take that out. Let's see. I am going to go ahead and put Marty in there. Now, technically, so here's my thing. Okay. I've got a future Marty and a future Doc that are coming in. Now, the future Marty and the future Doc are from the Icon series toys. Now, we've had Marty with a printed vest, and I have him with the vest. And then we've got this really cool Doc this time with better hairpiece and a better both front and back printing. In his suit, he even has the printing of the shirt and everything. It's a Hawaiian shirt underneath, which is cool. But in order to make this accurate to the film from the beginning, we should have had Marty in a yellow jumper, like a yellow suit. And I feel it's kind of weird that we don't have that. I'm going to go ahead and put Doc in there. I guess I'll go ahead and put the displacement arm on there, even though this is Doc from the beginning when he is going to be going back in time and doing his experiment at the beginning when he sends Einstein back. Doc's not wanting to sit, is he? Okay, there we go. We'll get him in like that. Great Scots! All right, that'll go in there, and then this should shoehorn right in there. If I can find the peg, there we go, and that goes in like that. And now we've got our time machine from the first Back to the Future. You know what? Let's go ahead and try. I want to take this one here. We're gonna look over on the side. Oh, that camera's not working right now. Okay, well, it's fine. We don't, here, I'll turn it this way. So this looks amazing. So you've got Marty and Doc. You can see the flux capacitor in there. You can see all the bells and whistles. I mean, this thing is gorgeous. You got the California, you got the out of time on there. It looks phenomenal. So let's do this. We'll pull this. It's not screen accurate. Not that it's not screen accurate. I think it's more of like the fact that the Doc that we get is technically the one from when we first see the time machine, which is perfect, but we don't have that Marty. And I don't think they ever had plans to make that Marty. It would be cool if we got that Marty and he also had the hood. It would actually make sense, and it would be cool to make that a blind bag figure somewhere. That would be cool to get like a figure of Marty in the suit. Yellow suit with, he could have like the headphones, so you could give him like a pair of black headphones to put on, a printed yellow suit, and then a hat or hood, you know, and then a book, a tile that actually has a book on it. And it could be like the, I can't remember what was it. Well, it was a comic book that he had. Not that he had, but George had. It'd be cool to get a George too, like an old school George. I think that would be a cool Back to the Future small like minifig sort of minifig blind bag or blind box sort of thing. I think that'd be cool to get. That would be cool. Get a Lorraine, get a Biff, even get was it Biff and then his oh my god. We could get Biff, we could get Needles. At some point down the road, we could get his all of Biff's skaters. Not Biff. It's not Biff. It's, I'm trying to remember the name of the character from the oh my goodness, from the second movie. I just got done watching them too. It's like Biff, but yeah. You know, another tannin. All right, now these are supposed to like fit in there. There we go. Now they do turn that way. And then that should fit right in there. It's not wanting to go exactly. There we go. I'll turn that back, fit those. And then I'll pull that. Now there is a part of me that's, again, kind of like, why in the world we didn't get it to where the wheels would just turn down? I don't know. It's okay that they don't. I mean, this looks nice, and design-wise, it definitely will look a lot better and more like the film. It's just that the switch out portion of it is just kind of not all there. And I'm more afraid that these plates are just going to fall out because I don't know how well they're clutching. Because I know I'm putting tension on that arm, having to push up, because I don't really have another place to push up except I could probably do this. If I push in with these, I might be able to seat those plates a little bit better. But I'm having to use a tool to do it, and I think that part kind of concerns me a little bit. All right. Put our Mr. Fusion back on top. Put Jennifer in there, which is kind of odd. In that case, if we're going to do this, I'm going to put that over there. I'll put Doc over here, and then Marty on the other side. There are some key areas. It would have been nice to have this, so if that was a little more open, we could have put stuff in the trunk area. So for the DeLorean, for that particular car, and there's a guy actually that we work with North Texas Ghostbusters. He actually has he just got an Ecto, and it's like an Ecto based off the cartoon, which is really cool. But he does charity work with us and stuff like that. But he has a time machine that he brought the first year that we were doing Toys for Tots. And I mean, it's one of those where it's like the actual, like once you see it in person, that the vehicle is just downright amazing. But the trunk is in the front. There's key things, like we could use this for the circus, which is fine, but maybe even have that to where that open up, the red for the wheel wells, things like that could have just made it a little bit more. That would have given it just a little bit more. And something as simple as like the little, silver 1x1 round stud and the the red dome plate, or what I call them radar dishes. That would have been perfect for that. But yeah, man, that is an awesome car. I'm glad I stayed up late to do this. It's 1:30 at this point, though. You know what? I'm thinking it's time for me to end this live and probably go to bed because I still have a live to do tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be doing the Luma Bricks. I think we're doing the Sequoia Bandit Hideout. I think it's the one I was thinking about. I was debating between that and the Heritage Tram, but I think the Sequoia, I probably need to do that one here pretty soon. All right, so that's it. Hey, thank you all for showing up and checking this out. Even if you're checking this out after the fact, hey, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I thank you for watching this video, sharing it out, checking out the lives when you do, commenting if you happen to see this, like it. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. It helps out the channel. Subscribe, like this video, comment down below. I'd love to chat back with you all. And I'll be getting a review of this up here pretty soon. It'll probably be up by the top of next week. We did the Mandalorian Grogu Speeder, which is new for 2026. This one's new for 2026. And we got that EV supercar coming up as well as the Luma Bricks Chili Dog Stand review, which I got to do. So there's some really good building block stuff coming up. I wanted to say I think we're good. I don't know if I have any I know I've got some older action figures I need to open up. So we'll kind of start digging through. We'll start finding things and we'll get the account padded up. And I'll keep bringing you as many reviews and as many things as possible. So that way it can kind of help you decide on what you want to do with this, okay? If you want to buy it or not. That's my goal here, is to help you out. All right, so I thank you all for showing up. I love you all.